that was, so you're part, because I asked 2 questions. So you're on the part of the negotiation between Yaya Bello with yourself and Femi Kayode. I think it was all 3 or 4 of you that I saw in the conference. Yeah. So what was that negotiation from Femi Kayode? Because I would think he would be angry himself, but he didn't do that. He came to you, or you came, whoever came to one another, and you guys, what was the negotiation for?
Well, what negotiation was, the negotiation was
later. I can see all the comments. Go ahead.
Okay. So
yes.
the negotiations, the meeting, it was a presidential order. The president, President Muhammadu Buhari, because we blocked the roads and we at various junctions, at various areas of entrance. For example, we had to put our task force at Lokoja to make sure that no truck or bus or Sharon or Golf carrying anything that is foodstuff in nature. It can carry passengers who move, we're not stopping passengers, but anything that is foodstuff or anything consumable from the north to the south, we try to block at Lokoja. Lokoja is one of the points. We did at Nasarawa, we did at Katsina Ala in Benue State, we did in Kwara and various states like that. We make sure that we block all the angles, including even Zaria, to stop food supply coming from the northwest, because they have to pass all the 7 northwestern states. If they are supplying anything, they have to pass through Zaria. So we even blocked even in Zaria within the north, we blocked Zaria so that those foodstuffs will not pass through. Now, at Lokoja, while we were doing that blockage at Lokoja, we blocked almost 700 vehicles that were carrying stuff or the other, trying to move to the southwest or south-south or southeast. So we blocked those vehicles, and like I said, over 700 of trailers, buses, and Sharon saloon cars that were carrying foodstuff and other perishables to the south. And we asked them, we refused to allow them pass. And that is the highest number of blockage of vehicles that we had. So the issue brought some fracas between our members and the Office of the Chief of Defense Staff of Nigeria. The Chief of Defense Staff sent in some soldiers to unblock, to open up the roads so that the vehicles will pass through. And we refused to allow that to happen. So a lot of fracas took place, and then there was, in fact, 2 of our members had their legs broken. That is members of our task force that we put on the road. They had their legs broken out of that fracas between us and the military. And then we told the military, first, we are not carrying a weapon. We are not even carrying a needle that will indicate that we are trying to fight the authority or anything. All we are saying is those foodstuffs belong to our members. So since they belong to our members and northerners, the foodstuff will not pass through to any other part of Nigeria as a way of expressing our anger until and unless our brothers from the other part understand that we are equally Nigerians and equally important, and we agree to live as Nigerians in Nigeria, that the Constitution provides for every Nigerian to live anywhere, any part of Nigeria, to do whatever kind of business, for as long as it's a lawful business, it is allowed, unless and until our brothers from other parts of the country understand that we are not allowing a single drop or one seed of any type of foodstuff or perishables to pass through. That was where we had issues, I repeat, with the soldiers from defense headquarters. They were given directives to come and open up the road. And as they open, we close. As they open, we close. We continue to have that issue. That was when the president, because Lokoja is in Kogi State, that was when the president appointed Governor Yahaya Bello to go to Lokoja and find out what is really happening and report back to him. When he did the findings and report back to the president appointed him to meet with the people who are doing this and discuss the issue with them, and so that it will come to an end. Meanwhile, even before Yahaya Bello was appointed, what we did was to write letter of protest to the government in the center. We wrote a letter of protest or petition to President Muhammadu Buhari. We wrote to the Chief of Staff to the President. We wrote to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. We wrote to the Inspector General of Police. We wrote to the Director General, DSS, State Security Service. We wrote to the Controller General of Civil Defense. We wrote to the Minister of Defense. We wrote to the Minister of Interior, that is Minister of Internal Affairs. We wrote to the United Nations Secretary General. We wrote to the American Congress. We wrote to British Parliament. We wrote to 19 northern state governors, all the governors in 19 states of the north. We wrote to individually we wrote to them. Then we wrote to the Forum of the Northern Governors, the chairman of Northern Governors Forum. We wrote to the state assemblies, 19 northern state assemblies, each speaker and the assembly got a copy of our letter. Then we wrote to them as a body, Forum of Speakers of the 19 northern states. We now wrote to the first class emirs of each of the 19 northern states, that is chairman of the Council of Chiefs of each of the 19 northern states. And we also wrote to them as a body, the Northern Council of Chiefs. We wrote to the chairman. Then we wrote to Iowa Consultative Forum, that is supposed to be an umbrella body of all northern socio-cultural organizations. Then we wrote to Sardauna Memorial Foundation. We wrote to Northern Elders Forum. We wrote to Northeast Elders Forum. Then we also wrote to prominent northerns, all former president and head of state that are from the northern Nigeria. We also wrote to them. We wrote to General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. We wrote to General Gawan. We wrote to General Abdusalami Abubakar. All these people, we wrote to them complaining that our brothers and sisters are being killed in other parts of Nigeria, south, and southeast. We needed them to come in.
You really think these people don't stop the killings in? You know, let me just answer that real quick before I forget all this you're saying. I'm here to find out the truth, and I know Nigeria is in a mess, and I know President Buhari is not doing well. That is not how you rule a country. It's too marginalized. Let's be truthful. And I understand what you're saying. In the answers, everybody died, not just the Northerners. Everybody died, and they're still denying, which is so wrong. That is not how you guys see how that country runs. But again, I am shocked and surprised that President Muhammadu Buhari even saw what is going on in Kogi State and sent Yaya Bello right away. But it could be happening in other states in a certain area, and it will pay deaf ear. Why is he doing that? You all, I know you have access to him. He needs to wake up and smell the coffee, because you know what? We can't have a sleeping president. He needs to know when one is agitated, he needs to be addressed. You can't address some certain people and just ignore some certain people. You can't do that. You're not the president of Fulanese. And people always mistake Hausa, Fulani. No, Hausa is not Fulani. Fulani is not Hausa. It's just like you're saying Isha is Benin. No, we're all from Edo State. You know, I mean, people need to just separate these tribes. That's what I'm talking about. I grew up in the north, and I know what Hausa people are made up of. I'm not here to start defending or anything, but you know, there are bad, the good, and the ugly in every tribe you go. But these Fulani killers, we must call them to order. They are terrorists, period. I can't be in my house and be afraid to close my eyes. So President Muhammadu Buhari is a commander-in-chief. He can be telling, you know, all the Westerners, when you call your offices, you can't tell people things are okay when they are not. Let them help out. If you really have the interest of your citizens at heart, let them help out. Stopping the food from the north would have been an eye-opener and say, oh my God, okay, people are really agitated. Because, you know, I know you said things about what happened in the past. We need to leave the past in the past. When we carry that anger, that country will never move forward. Instead, let everybody go their way like everybody's agitated. And when everybody goes their way, there will be so much suffering. I have a friend who's from Sudan. She told me, she said, Angela, South Sudan or one of the Sudans, South or the North, are begging. They're almost eating sand. People don't know what it is to disintegrate. I'm not saying, you know, it's not my saying to say who wants to leave or who wants to come. If he is a really smart president, this is the time he wants to call everybody to the table. If he's redeemable, call everybody to, don't ignore some certain group and think you're going to pay attention to other group. Me, I'm for the truth. I don't care if it's my mother. I'm from the truth. You know, people can love Buhari enough to tell him the truth, what the whole world and everybody is saying. If you love him, you tell him the truth. Like I'm telling him the truth now, I should be his best friend. But when you are afraid of him, which is going on in Nigeria, people adore human beings. Afraid enough, not you, because I know you will hit it. But people are so afraid and adore people and adore leaders and afraid to tell them how it looks, how the picture looks in the outside. People shouldn't do that because that's what makes the Americans different. You cannot shut American down. Even a 5-year-old American, you cannot shut her down. She must tell the truth. She must tell you what you are doing wrong. She must, you know, God, when are we going to get there? People are suffering, people are being killed. You agree with me that the way people are being killed in the southeast and south, those states by Fulanis, not the Hausas. I'm not here to, you guys, we need to differentiate this. You can say Angela is being biased. No, not the Hausas. It's the Fulani killers. And it could not be all Fulanis. But the Fulani killers we must get rid of. The bandits, we must not negotiate with them. For what now? For what? Is that a country that negotiates with criminals? That's not a country. You cannot negotiate with criminals. That Gumbi or whatever his name is, he needs to stop. He needs to stop because he's been tagged as a terrorist. He's not doing anything favored. He's not favoring anybody. He's doing a lousy job. You can't do that. You brought these people in, take them back to where they come from. Because that, if you look at, it's not fair to us either. It's not fair to the South, Southeast, Midwest, Middle Belt, all of them. It's not fair to us for us to stay in our house and be afraid and be terrorized and be raped and be stolen from and be killed like dogs. It's not fair to us. You can't tell us to sit there and just take it. No, just the same way you feel about the outside youths, that's the same way we feel. We're all in the crossfire. So we shouldn't be fighting we're all fighting one another and just having these people do whatever they will do with the economy. Because if we start saying, all of us has to be mad for what happened in the past, nobody will let go. Everybody will be in bondage. Nobody will let go because divided or stay, we're all still in the same geographical area that we will still see one another. We will still trade with one another. We can't live without each other. I don't care who you are, especially in the south or in the middle. Look at Delta. They have all the oil. What is our resources in Nigeria? So all the resources are on one side, but those are the poorest people that never had no positions. They are never given a good job. No, this is like being in the Western world, you've been discriminated by white people. This is like where you're in the Western world where white people want to have all the good job and the black people are nothing. That's how people are feeling in Nigeria. I'm not speaking for everybody. I don't know whether but that's what I'm perceiving. And my wisdom, my thinking never goes wrong. You can't be in your own mother's land. Somebody is discriminating you and treating you like a second-class citizen. Who will be happy? Nobody. Nobody will, because we know how it feels. Living in Western world, we know how it feels to be discriminated. It's not a good feeling. And nobody should tell people to feel good when they are being marginalized. No. So, today, people should know that Fulanis are not Hausas. Fulanis are not Hausa, and not all Fulanis are bad, but the bad ones we must get rid of. President Muhammadu Buhari cannot be acting as if he doesn't know what's going on anymore. Enough. Enough of it. Enough of it. It's too slow. One citizen being killed is more than enough. Did you see America the other day? Only one citizen was kidnapped. Six soldiers had to be on ground to take their citizens out and finish the whole people that was kidnapping. That's what citizens do. That's what countries do for their citizens. We are here, we are suffering. Look at the deaths in Italy. You know why they don't do nothing for Nigerians in Italy? Because the government are telling them that things are okay in Nigeria. That's why Nigerian citizens are not getting anything from the Italian government anymore, and all these children end up committing suicide. This is pandemic trouble everywhere, and it still depends on our system to rectify this. Because when you tell people your own is not good, is rag, people will use it to help you sweep and put them in the dustbin or whatever, however we call it there. So this is just annoying that, you know, I understand your anger and I know where you're coming from. Nobody deserves to be killed, but we are being killed also. So the whole country is being killed. So the particular people that are doing this killing, why don't we reprimand them? You cannot just sit there and think it's okay for us to be killed. No, no, no. I disagree. No. Because when you look at answers, everybody died and everybody's lying. No, nobody died. You lie to international people, they are laughing at you because they see, they know what happened. They know people died. Lie, 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 lie. We lie too much. We need to stop the lies. Damn, we need to stop the lies.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Like I was saying, so this is why we had to take that action. We now wrote to all those bodies, like I mentioned, to complain. We wrote it as a protest letter, or you can call it a petition, telling them that our people are being killed, their properties are being destroyed at the slightest provocation, and then we have their own people in our own part of the country, and we are not doing anything to touch, destroy, or their property or kill them. So please do something, because we don't want these killings to continue. We don't want the destruction of the property of our people to continue. So do something. That was why we had to write up to the level of the United Nations, to the American Congress and the British Parliament. We are asking them to come in, come and investigate these things. And as we are writing to these people, we have all the videos, the pictures, the contacts of everybody, every single person that was killed from the #EndSARS period to Shasha period. We have all the pictures, we have all the videos, we have the contact of the families of the people that died. We have the contact of the people that destroyed, their properties were destroyed. We have the contact of the people that were hospitalized. We have everything in our hands before we started the write-up. We have every details to the last man, to the village, to the state, to their local government, to their community. We have all these things before we write to all the people to all the authorities that we wrote, and we send the videos and the pictures in a form of a booklet to them for them to see. Each person that died, you will see his name, his state, his local government, his village on his chest of the picture. We had everything set up before we sent it out, so that if anybody has a doubt over what we are saying, he can make a direct contact by call, or he can travel to the state, to the local government, to the community, to the village, and meet with the families of those that were killed, or those that properties were destroyed, or those that were hospitalized. This is how we did it. So we sent it up to UN, let them come and verify what we said, whether what we said is true or false. That was what we did. And then, like I said, we notified the government. And then we gave the government 21 days ultimatum within which to act. If the government act, then so be it. We will not do anything. What we wanted to see was just to see action, that our lives and properties worth something, that we are Nigerians and we are entitled to live in Nigeria just like any other Nigerian. So we needed to see something being done. After 21 days, no action was taken by the government. We gave another 10 days ultimatum to the government. If you put 21 days plus 10 days, it will be giving you 31 days. After the 10 days, no action was taken. We gave another 7 days ultimatum to the government to act or we will act. 7 days expired, nobody did anything. That was when we took the action of shutting up the food supply. So we didn't just do it like that. First, we considered the constitution because we try as much as we can to make sure that we do not breach any law. We try to be as lawful as possible and as law-abiding as possible in carrying out our action. We didn't want anybody to point finger at us and begin to cite some sections and say this and say that. We were mindful of that. We had our lawyers. Among us, we had lawyers who looked at what we were trying to do and advised us legally on how best to go about it before we took our action. So at the expiration of all this period, nothing happened. That was when we went into that action, and we warned our task force members to make sure that they, by no means, no matter how provoked they are being provoked, they should not retaliate. They should not point finger at anybody. They should not quarrel with anybody. They shouldn't do anything. All they will do is park vehicles that are carrying foodstuff or anything that had to do with food supply to the other part of Nigeria. Just park them and don't say anything to them. Don't quarrel with them. Don't give anybody any reason to make it as a point of trying to create a problem, and then it will be referred back to us that we are troublemakers or we are trying to create problem in the country. We try as much as we can to avoid anything that will bring uprising. Since we are trying to stop killing and destructions of other Nigerians that are in northern part of Nigeria, then we shouldn't be part of anything that is destruction. That was what we did, and then that was how. So here I am saying that the president didn't just interfere immediately we started. No, I told you we gave the president or the government 21 days ultimatum within which to act. They refused to act. We gave another 10 days again for them to act. They refused to act. We gave another 7 days for them to act. They refused to act before we went on the street. So if you look at it, we are also protesting that the president is ignoring us. When the hashtag NSAS issue comes, it is within 2 days of the starting of the protest of NSAS that the president accepted all the demands of the people that were protesting during NSAS. This is another. Within 2 days, he accepted all the demands. So if he can accept the demands within 2 days, how comes it took us 38 days to put up a request and demand for things and it was not done? That was why we said, okay, if the president will be so favorable to the south, southwest, and southeast, then he is ignoring us as northerners. Maybe because he comes from the north. That is why he's not valuing our protest or our petition or our complaint. Then we will all go out and defend ourselves and do the right thing. That was what we did. So we in the north, let me tell you, and for everybody that is listening to this program, I am saying that then to be more favorable to the people of south, southwest, and southeast than we that are from the north. And everybody, every northerner, if you ask him, he will tell you that the president listened to the south, southwest, and southeast more than he listened to the north or northerners. He doesn't listen to us, but he listened to other parts of Nigerians and other Nigerians. So if not, the NSAS protest, 2 days with the NSAS protest, he accepted all the demands. And he quickly set up a mobile court or asked governors to set court in the state, and those courts are still there sitting and what have you. But our own, it took 38 days of putting up pressure, putting up demand before the governor was sent, and then before we now started discussing with him. And on our discussion, we have made our position clear, even from our letter. From day one, all the letters we sent, we have expressed 9-point demands on what we needed the country or the government or the state governors, most especially northern governors, to do for us to be able to move on as a nation. They didn't do until when we went on to that protest and until when Governor Bello came on board and then invited us for this meeting. And we had meeting 2 nights meeting.